Hi guys, and welcome to Rathwulven Bushcraft. Great to see you. Thanks for joining me in this video. Today I'm going to talk about the bowdrill again. This is part 3 of my masterclass series on the bowdrill method, fire by friction. And if you haven't seen the other parts yet, do me a favor, pause this video right now, then head on right over there. There's the playlist. Check out the earlier videos and come back here because you will need the context of the other videos for this particular video. So, what are we going to discuss today? Well, I want to talk about my system that I teach my students in regards to selecting your building materials for the bowdrill kit. Yeah? And before we get to my system, let's just talk a little bit about why I don't like recommending certain types of trees or wood to work with. There's actually 3 reasons for that. The first one being that you might live in a completely different landscape. I'm in southern Sweden now on vacation. We have a lot of conifer trees, as you can see in the background, right? But if you're living in the Kalahari Desert or in the Amazonian area or maybe in the United States or wherever, you might dwell in completely different landscapes with completely different types of trees. So recommending Swedish flora to you might not work. That's the first issue. The second issue is, if you get hyper-focused on certain material, like, for example, this hazel spindle, yeah, and such, you will always just be looking out for hazel and you will miss the forest for the trees. Hyper-focus doesn't help you, especially not if you get into a genuine survival scenario, because if you're in an emergency, you need to be able to adapt. And you cannot adapt if you're thinking like, hey, now I would love to have this piece of beech wood for my bearing block, and then just basically miss all the other varieties of wood that you could work with, right? And yeah, as it goes, point number 3, you need to practice and practice and practice, and you also need to fail in order to learn. You will not do this if you turn lazy because you're looking for this particular kit, for example. Again, beech, hazel, and willow I use right here. That's just 3 varieties of wood out of how many hundreds of? You do the math, right? Makes no sense. So, what can you do instead? Well, throughout the years, I always taught one particular method to my students, and that is the so-called HMS method. And that just stands for hard, medium, soft. Let me just show this with that kit again. The hardest type of wood that I used here is beech. That's what my bearing block is made from. So hard on top. Then comes medium. That's the spindle made from hazel. And then right down here we got the softest wood, which is the willow, right? And that's about it. If you abide by this rather simple system, you will be able to generate an ember from drilling. And why is that? Well, you want the maximum friction right here inside your hearthboard. The most abrasion needs to happen right here. It cannot happen up here in your bearing block. Maybe you've seen this before, that it starts smoldering right here in the bearing block while your hearthboard doesn't do anything. That happens if you use the same type of wood, for example. So if you do hazel, 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 you have medium, medium, medium. That's when it starts to generate an ember right up here in the bearing block, and you will horribly fail at creating your fire. It really is that simple. I say go out and give that a try. Don't overthink it. Just do a simple test. You know, if you go out, pick some wood, then take your thumbnail, press that into the wood. As you can see here with the beech wood, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't even leave a mark because that's such a dense piece of beech that, yeah, it's just rock solid. When it comes to the spindle, it leaves a very shallow mark. And the willow right here, it's basically as if I would push into some kind of foam or like a marshmallow, right? That's kind of what it feels like in terms of density. That's how I go about it. And that's how I succeed at building a fire from friction, right? It really is that simple. Don't overthink it. Anyway, one more thing to bear in mind. it is always recommendable to go for wood that is not of conifer trees, and that's because of the resin that's in those pine or spruce trees that you can see right here, right? Because what that resin does is it creates this kind of, yeah, glass-like layer. It's caramelizing on the bottom of your spindle, and if your spindle doesn't stay rough, woody, yeah, but turns into glass in essence, it just doesn't create friction, doesn't drill into your hearthboard again, and all you end up with is just a polished spindle. So the best way to go about is to always look for trees that have actual leaves and not needles. So 2 tips: HMS, and go for trees that have leaves, not needles. That's about it. Give it a try. Make sure to come back to this video once you experimented a bit and tell me how it worked for you. I'm really curious about your feedback, whether you could actually learn something from this. And yeah, that is part 3 of the series. I'm also working on part 4 right now. Stay tuned for that. If you want to see this video, subscribe to the channel right now if you haven't yet. I very much appreciate it. It also helps me to grow this channel and to spread knowledge. And yeah, as it goes, I wish you a nice time outdoors, a lot of great experiences, and also that you learned a thing or two. Have a good time in the outdoors, enjoy it, and see you in the next video. Bye bye. If you want to support my channel, please consider becoming a Patreon. You can visit my Patreon page on www.patreon.com/Rathwulven. A link to my Patreon page will also be posted in the information box below. Thank you in advance.